The worst way to apologize to anyone is by saying these words: I'm sorry if you feel that way. There are so many things wrong with this type of apology, which is why I just want to make it like I just want to make it like one of those touchstones, right? Like one of those rules of relationship. Never apologize like this. First, there is a lack of ownership. What delivers justice to the person that you hurt is an acknowledgement of your behavior that contributed to their pain. That doesn't mean that you did anything wrong. That just means that there was something you did or did not do that resulted in someone else feeling pain, right? So when a person feels like they did nothing wrong and they're confronted with their partner in very, very strong emotion and infliction of pain, the extremely logical person who still doesn't understand how the dots connect between something that they did or didn't do unintentionally and the degree of pain that's being displayed in their partner. And when this happens, this ugly apology results. I'm sorry if you feel that way. The other reason why this is just wrong is because you do not have authority over the feelings or the experience of another person. So when your partner says to you, ouch, that is within their experience, within their dominion. For you to feel sorry that they feel ouch makes absolutely no sense because their feeling belongs to them. You can't apologize for what they feel. You can't own their their experience. So again, not taking ownership for your contribution and then attempting to speak to their experience as what you're apologizing for. It is impossible for you to apologize for what a person's experience or their emotion is. Their emotion is their emotion. Their emotion isn't the experience of you. You cannot apologize for their experience of you, but you can apologize for your behavior. And I'm sorry if you feel like is not your behavior. If you feel like is number one, questioning whether or not this person's feelings are even rooted in reality. So the choice of words is horrible. And you feel like it's not an ownership of your contribution, whether or not it was intentional, unintentional, mistaken, you were completely oblivious, ignorant of the issue. That's not how you take ownership and acknowledge the suffering of another person. And then finally, the last thing that I want to add about this horrible way of apologizing is that you do not have to agree with the facts and circumstances that led to your partner feeling the way that they feel. And so oftentimes, again, the extremely logical people, the people who want to understand how do we get from A to Z. I walk me through the logical steps. And if you're that type of person that you demand a logical sequence so that you can agree that a person is justified in feeling the way that they feel, this is an ugly way of apologizing. This deepens the wounds. It makes recovering from the offense even more difficult because it leaves the person who's been offended questioning and wondering how they can ever be honest with you about what they're experiencing when you respond in such a logical type of demand for justification of their feelings. Does that make sense? When you take the position from a logical analysis that you have to logically reach the same emotion or emotional outcome as the person who's saying, what you did hurt me, then by default, you lack the skill of apologizing with personal awareness, respect for another person's experience of you, and just accepting the fact that you don't have to agree with a person's outcome to take ownership for how you contributed to it. So, once again, just in summary, I'm sorry that you feel that way should be words that sequence, that phrase should be totally eliminated from the way that we relate with other human beings. Practicing humility and self-awareness, owning that somehow you're connected to someone else's experience, how they're communicating it to you, and taking ownership is one of the most powerful ways to quickly get your relationship back on track. Restore justice through understanding and kindness towards the one you love who you hurt. And most of the time, 90% of the time, we hurt others unintentionally, mistakenly, out of ignorance. And it takes a whole heap of humility to be willing to say, please forgive me. I didn't know that it would hurt you that way. And that's not what I meant when I did or didn't do what I did. I didn't want you to hurt that way. And I'm sorry that what I did or didn't do resulted in this type of pain. Please forgive me. It takes a real champion to ask for forgiveness. It takes a real leader to take ownership of how we impact another person's experience. And when we do it with these empathy essentials, we can find resolution to our differences a lot more quickly and get back to the business of loving again. Be blessed and encouraged. Judge Shar.